staying with us. I'm Bill O'Reilly. In the Miller Time segment tonight, Dennis on Tom Hanks helping returning troops, Obama going to Iraq, and Jesse Jackson bad-mouthing Obama. The syndicated radio prince joins us from Los Angeles. How about that Jesse Jackson there, Miller?
Well, obviously, Bill, you bleeped it, but it seems like overprotective on your part. Why would you bleep the word allowance? I mean, if he's going to cut the guy's allowance off, so be it. And until somebody tells me otherwise, that's what I assume he was saying, allowance.
It wasn't allowance. It was a part of the anatomy, of the male anatomy, that I think most people got what it was, and we don't need, the children watching this program, and we don't want them to have nightmares, because that vision.
I stand corrected.
Yeah. See that vision for guys, Miller? You know that vision for guys. You know what that does to guys? Like this. You know what I'm talking about?
All right. Well, the ball's in your court.
Okay. So the second issue we have tonight is Barack Obama, who will ignore this Jackson thing and not be damaged by it at all, going to Iraq next week. Now, as we reported last night, it's a tough one for him because Petraeus is emerging as a national hero. The war is turning to our favor, and he rose to prominence, Barack Obama, as everybody knows, being anti-war. So what do you think is going to happen?
Well, I think he's going to have to start, he's going to have to change his name to Iraq Obama and become a latter-day Curtis LeMay here, because he's got to be a little embarrassed by all this. Now, I know we're not supposed to say flip-flops, and this afternoon he said we should speak Spanish, so let's say he espadrilles on the issue of Iraq, and he's going to have to write his policy paper up in Iraq on an Etch-a-Sketch.
But
Chubby Checker didn't need this much wiggle room.
Don't you, Chubby Checker? I loved him. Chubby Checker did not need this much wiggle room. I'm sorry I stepped on that line because it was an excellent line. That's why I went over it again. Don't you admire politicians, though, who can change their opinion for the good of the country?
Listen, I'll tell you this. I feel better about Barack Obama now. I don't want him to be president, but if he does win, I see that he reacts well to his handlers, and his handlers eventually might be the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and if they tell him we can't go anywhere, he's not going to go anywhere. And the besotted Daily Kos crowd is going to be once again left at the altar, although they'll probably not call him on it because they're so in love with him. It's like being at the dinner with Giselle, and she's got a radicchio hanging off her tooth. What, are you going to say anything about it? Of course not. They're going to still go with him, but he's turning into a bit of a hawk here. Good to see. I'm glad he's on board.
No, but if you go on the websites, they're killing him now. The far left kooks, they're going wild now. So I don't think they're going to give him a pass.
No, they're not going to give him a pass, and that's why he's getting it over now. You know how most people try to glide over to the center slowly? He's like Michael Corleone going to the dinner with Sollozzo, and they're halfway across the bridge to Jersey. Axelrod just whips it over and heads the other way.
Get it out of the way. Go to the center real fast. I got it. Now, you, Miller, are living in the middle of the fire zone. You got a little red hat and a hose out there? I mean, boy, that is pretty intense, is it not?
Well, California is about to become a socialist experiment, and this is the legitimate precursor of that. I mean, the simple fact is life reaches up every once in a while and smacks you down, and, that's what happens out here. Your publicist isn't going to get up on the roof with you with a fire hose. You got to grab the Oscar, you got to grab the kids' baby pictures. You're grabbing the kids' baby pictures. It puts us all at equal ground out here. And you know something? Every smoke plume has a silver lining, Bill. With the housing market this low, some of these insurance payoffs on houses that get burnt down are actually going to coincide with the worth of the house.
Always a practical guy. How close did the fire come to your abode?
It seems like it's around 12 to 15 miles from me, which seems like an eternity. But the wind shifts like one of Obama's political views. It's in my backyard. Who knows? That's life. That's half of the vigorish.
All right, so it's worth living in California even though you got the mudslides, you got the fires, you got the giant sharks eating the surfers, you got the Hollywood agents stabbing people all over the place. It's worth it.
As primal events go, hurricanes and fires at least give you a 4-day heads up. Earthquakes and tornadoes are what scare me. One day you're laying there and the next day you're spinning around like Dorothy in Oz. A hurricane or a fire, they give you 4 days. They say it's coming. Get out. Just get out.
Okay. Finally, I heard on your radio program you talking to Tom Hanks, the actor, and he is trying to help the returning veterans, Hanks, and we applaud that. And you and Hanks are very close friends, even though Hanks is a far-left guy. How did that happen?
Tom Hanks, one of the most decent men I ever know, and I would say this, if you were a volleyball stuck on a desert island, you would be hard-pressed to find a guy you'd rather be there with than Hanks. He's a wisdom. He doesn't predicate his relationships on the D or the R after the name. We disagree on some things, but he does the right thing about affairs of the heart. And this Vets Welcome Home organization matters to him, as my organization, USACares.org, matters to me. These are our heroes. We have to welcome them back and treat them as such.
All right, good. And we're glad Tom Hanks is, it's welcome back at vets.org, I believe, and then USA Cares is Miller's thing, and Wounded Warriors is for us. So on all three of those, we got it covered, Miller. And we'll keep the fires burning there, pardon the pun. Good to see you, man.